In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make this beautiful dress. This dress is for a 6 months to 1 year old baby. I already have a tutorial on how to draft the basic bodice pattern for kids. So I'm going to be dropping the link in the description box. Do well to watch that video. Thank you. So I use my basic bodice pattern to cut out my fabric. This is the front. I cut out the shape. Then this is the back. I folded my fabric into two. Then I cut out the back. In case if you're wondering the fabrics I'm using the shiny scuba as my main fabric, and then the satin fabric as my lining, the doll face satin fabric. So this is my satin. My lining, I cut it the same way I cut the main fabric. So I'm going to be joining them together this way. Make sure the right sides are facing each other. You're going to put it together this way, and then you're going to stitch on the shoulder using 1/2 inch this way. Okay, I will do the same thing on the lining. I'll put them together this way. Make sure the right sides are facing each other, and then you're going to stitch on the shoulder using 1/2 inch. So now I am done stitching. This is what it is looking like. So now I'm going to open it up this way, and then this is the lining. I'll make sure the right side is facing up, and I'm going to be grabbing the main fabric. I'll place it on it. Make sure the right sides are facing each other this way. Okay, and then I'm going to use my pins to hold it down to secure the two together, so that when I am stitching, it's not going to move around. It is that simple. So just follow up what I am doing, and then you're good to go. So now I am done pinning them down. I'm going to stitch on the armhole and then stitch on the neckline, and make sure you don't stitch through the zipper allowance. Stitch on the armhole this way, stitch on the other armhole, and then stitch on the neckline, but don't stitch through the zipper allowance. Stitch using 1/2 inch. Okay, so now I am done stitching. This is what it is looking like. As you can see, I did not stitch through the zipper allowance. So now you're going to be notching it. If you're not going to overlock it, you notch through, but make sure you don't cut through your stitches. You notch that way, but I'm going to overlock using my overlock sewing machine. Now I am done overlocking it. This is what it is looking like. I'm going to be turning it inside out or outside in. Just follow what I'm doing. It is that simple. Okay, so I'm going to pull the back to the front this way. I'm going to put it to the front through the shoulder, just like that. When I do that, I'll do the same on the other side. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your sew mates. Thank you. So now I'm done turning it out. This is what it is looking like. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to be joining the sides together, the side of the front and then the side of the back. I'll stitch them together. Okay, just watch carefully what I'm doing. This is the front, right? This is the front, and then this is the back. So now I'm going to be grabbing the side of the front this way. I'll grab it like this, and then also grab the side of the back like that. I will place them together this way. Place them together like this. Make sure the right sides are facing each other this way. Please make sure the right sides are facing each other. Okay, then when you do it this way, you're going to be stitching using 1/2 inch. I'm going to be repeating this once again. You will stitch using 1/2 inch. I'll repeat this once more. Grab the side of the front. This is the side of the front. Then you bring the side of the back this way. You put them together. You can use your pins to put them together. Okay, use your pins to secure the bolts before stitching. So after securing the bolt with your pin, you can go ahead and stitch using 1/2 inch from that end to the other end. Okay, so now I'll do the same on the other side. I'll bring the both sides together. I'll pin them down using my pins once again, and then I'm going to stitch using 1/2 inch. I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch and show you what I've got. So now I am done stitching. This is what I have. I'll quickly go and overlock this and then get back to you. Right now I am done overlocking it. This is what it is looking like. So I'll quickly give it a good press and then set it aside. Now back to the net. This is the net I am using. This net, the width is about 12.5 inches. Okay, and then the length it is very long. Just cut as much as you want. You can decide to use 180 inches, you can use 200 inches, 250 inches. You know, by the time you gather net, it comes together and it becomes small. So before you gather it, make sure you take the measurement, the waist measurement of the bodice. I have 25.5 inches there. Okay, you're going to gather your net fabric and make sure the length is also 25.5 inches or more. So as you can see, I have two nets I gathered here because I want it to be very full. You can as well make use of one, but I want mine to be full. That's why I gathered two different nets this way. Okay, so now I'm trying to take the measurement of the net. As you can see, is even more than 25.5. Is about 28 inches here. So I'm going to be joining the two nets together this way. I'm going to stitch on it to put them together. Stitch all the way down. So now I am done stitching the net. This is what I have. Now I cut out another two pieces of lining. Okay, so now this one is about 10.5 inches width and the other one is about 9.5 inches width. The body length is about 40 inches. I'm going to be setting this one aside and then I'm going to grab the other one, the one of 10.5 inches width. I'm going to bring it and then I'm trying to cut out the rough edge. So this now I am going to be stitching the net on it this way, but before then I'm going to be plinting it. I'll make a plint this way. I'll pin with my, hold it down with my pin. I'll plint again. I don't really like to gather my lining because my net is already gathered, so I'll continue to plint it this way until I get to the other end, and make sure it is the same length with the, when you're plinting, make sure the lining is having the same length with the net fabric. After plinting it, you're going to be placing the net on it this way and stitch them together. Stitch them together that way to the end. So now I am done stitching it. This is what it is looking like. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to be joining it with my bodice. The upper part, I'm going to bring the top and then I'll put them together. So this is the main fabric, okay, and the other side is the lining. So I'm going to open it up this way. Okay, I'll open it up this way. I'm going to grab the main fabric, I'll put it on the net and then I'm going to stitch all the way down. Make sure you don't stitch it with the lining part. You're going to keep the lining aside, bring the main fabric, you're going to pin it down this way, pin it down to the end like this, and then you're going to stitch on it. You're going to pin it down this way, pin it down to the end and then stitch on it that way until you get to the end. So now I am done stitching it. This is what it is looking like. We're almost done. This is it. This is what it is looking like. So now for the lining part, we're going to be stitching that now. So now I'm going to open it up this way again. I'll grab the lining part. This is it. I'll place it on my table like this and then grab the other part of the lining that we kept aside, the one of 9.5 inches width. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. So make sure the lining of the bodice is facing up. the lining of the upper clothes or the upper dress is facing, then you're going to place it this way, then place it on it like this, and then stitch all the way down. So now I am done stitching. This is what I have. As you can see, our dress is already coming up. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is to hem the down part. So I'm going to open it up this way. I'm going to fold this way. I'm going to hem it this way and then stitch. Do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll show you what I have. So now I'm done hemming it. This is what it is looking like. Now the last thing we're going to be doing is to be attaching the zipper. Okay, this is the zipper I am using for this. You can as well decide to make use of the invisible zipper. Make sure your dress is facing this way, and then I'm going to open up my zipper like this. This is the left and this is the right. So I'm going to be placing it on the dress. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it like this and place it on the dress. I'm going to be flipping the lining aside. Okay, so now in this small iron on the zipper, you don't have to stitch on it. So I'm going to be taking it up a bit so you won't stitch on it, to avoid breaking your needle. So take it up a bit like that and place it there, and then you're going to be using some pins to hold on the zipper. So you make sure the zipper part is facing you. This part is facing you. Okay, so this part, this is what I mean. Make sure it is facing you, and then you're going to use your pin to hold it down. So I'm trying to arrange it very well before using my pin to hold it down like that. So now on the net side, you're going to arrange it very well. Take your time to arrange it very well before sewing or pinning it down, to avoid having a rough finishing. So now I'm taking my time to arrange the net before putting down the or pinning down the zipper on it. Okay, so now I am done. This is what I have. So I'm going to be bringing out the lining this way. I'm going to stitch on top of it, but before I stitch, I'm going to bring out the lining and then place it on top of the zip. I'll place it on top of the zip and then run a straight stitch. Make sure the right sides are facing each other before you place it on top of the zip this way, and then you're going to run a straight stitch there. The best way to stitch this is to use your zipper foot. This is the only way to get this, okay, because if you're placing the lining on top of the zipper, you're not going to see through and know what you're stitching. So if you have a zipper foot, you use it to get it perfectly. So that is what I use to sew mine. So you place it there carefully, and then you're going to stitch all the way down, and then you're going to determine where you want your stitch or your zipper to stop. Okay, now I am done stitching. This is what it is looking like. This is what I have, as you can see, and this is where I want my zipper to stop. So I already marked out, I use my chalk to mark out where I want my zipper to stop. As you can see, you will see a blue chalk there where I marked it out. So yeah, this is where I marked it out, and this is where I want my zipper to stop. So now I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'll make sure the zipper is facing out this time around. That zipper edge, make sure it is facing out. You're going to make sure it is facing out. You're going to place it just the way we placed the other side, then use your pin to pin it down. Then make sure you don't stitch on the small iron on the zip. So quickly arrange it like this very well, and then pin it down with your pins, as you can see. Then you're going to place your lining on top of it. Make sure the right sides are facing each other. You place your lining on the zipper this way, and then you're going to run a straight stitch using your zipper foot. Zipper foot is the best foot to use for this. So now I am done stitching. I'm going to zip it up this way to show you what I have. I'm trying to arrange the dress very well before zipping it. Okay, so now this is what it is looking like. So it's now time for us to join the down part. So now this is another difficult side to do. It's not really difficult, but a little bit difficult. It's something you have to like take your time to do. You don't rush this part. You have to take your time to do this part. So now I'm going to be bringing both the linings together this way. I will join them together, and then I'm going to stitch from there and stop where the zipper ended. Okay, then I'll flip my zipper to that side, and make sure you cut your zipper because it's long. It's too long. This side of the net, so arrange it that way, place them together. If you have excess fabric, you can cut them off. Okay, so carefully arrange this part. You join them together this way, just like that, and make sure this zipper is not in the net. If it's in the net, you flip it out to the lining side. Okay, you arrange it carefully, and then you are going to run a stitch. You're going to stitch all the way from there where the zipper stopped. You're going to stitch all the way down. So right now I am done stitching. This is what it is looking like. So I've got some beads and I'm going to be using to style this. You can as well style your own the way you want. Basically, this dress is ready. You just have to go ahead to design or style your own the way you want it. So now I am done putting the beads. I put them around the neckline. This is what I have, and I put a small bow by the side. So thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next one. Bye.